Good morning, everyone. So, by the way, I'm Engineer Eugene Lotivio. So, I'm here to discuss about the optimizing battery performance testing solutions. Okay. So, nowadays, we are aware about the high demand po ng ating mga baterya and of course mga EV and kanina na-discuss is about the efficiency. Actually, that's a great topic no, about the efficiency of all our product. But of course, to maintain that efficiency, we need of course to check those products using the test instrument. And one of our highlights is actually about the battery tester. Okay, so one of the product of the Fluke test instrument. So before I start, so I'll show you some of our products from Presidium.PH, and we have a different products like in terms of multimeter, testers, and so on. And actually, those testers is used on a different applications like checking the temperature, pressure, current, voltage, etc. And this test instrument, of course, you can check the performance of your electronics. Like for example, if you have a power supply, if you have a UPS, sometimes they use the Fluke products no, to testify or to check the performance of the product. And another product of actually from the Presidium and under the Fluke is the Fluke networks. Okay, that is separate product under the Fluke, and we have different testers for those ano naman po. Okay, then we have the fiber alert for the fiber optics and for copper wire. Okay, and back to my topic, actually we have some issues about the batteries, no? And most of the time, if they check the battery, they always check the voltage only, but they don't check the internal damage of the battery. Because if you check the batteries, the first thing that comes on our mind is actually voltage. So in reality, we have to check, of course, the internal damage, and that's what we call as an internal resistance. Okay, and why the batteries fail? It's because of the high temperature. Of course, because if the charging rate is not totally designed on the battery, of course the temperature will arise. And one of the Fluke products is that you can check is the thermal camera. And most of our customer in the power electronic industry, they consider the thermal imaging. And of course, the thermal imaging has a different specification. It depends on the accuracy and the thermal sensitivity. And another one, high charging current, overcharging, discharge problem, and ripple voltage, loose connection, thermal runaway aging. And that is the most common why the batteries fail. So how do we check the batteries? Of course, sometimes we commonly use the multimeter to check the batteries. But in reality, you only check the voltage of the battery. If you compare two batteries, sometimes they are the same voltage. They are the same 12 volts. But one of the battery is actually damaged. Because if you check the internal resistance or the internal damage of the battery, is actually failed. That's why we have to use a proper test instrument to check the battery. Okay, because most in the Philippines, most common that they are using is the multimeter. Okay, but of course, the battery analyzer is actually they can do ripple voltage, internal resistance, and okay. And sometimes, if the battery is energized, sometimes we cannot check the battery itself because it's a present of a voltage and very risky to check. But in a Fluke BT521, you can check your battery even energized. Okay? But try to observe the battery during energization. Usually, the voltage of those batteries are 13.8 volts, not 12 volts, okay? Because of the charging rate, okay? That's what we call as float voltage. And the Fluke battery or the BT521 can do that, okay? And you can check the battery, you can check the battery like voltage, internal resistance, and including the temperature. That's the capability of the Fluke 521, okay? Okay, so, and next one is the voltage and resistance thresholds, okay? So most of the time the batteries actually during the event of the IIEE, the ICEP, a lot of topic is about the e-vehicle, about renewable, and most of them, they are using batteries. And of course, we are here to aware them about the batteries. How do we check properly the batteries? Okay, and using the proper test instrument or test tools, you have a peace of mind that the battery is okay or not. Okay, so and next one is the battery analyzers. Is actually we have this intelligent test probe. This intelligent test probe can check the batteries and 3 readings in one action. Meaning, you can read the ohmic value of the battery, you can read the voltage, and you can read the temperature. So in one action, you can see the 3 readings. And of course, the other product, you need the 3 test instrument. But the battery analyzer by the Fluke is actually, in one action, you have 3 readings. Okay? And in terms of software, actually in a test instrument, obviously, the most important is the software. And that's the good thing about the Fluke. You can have battery management. So sometimes a UPS has a different size, different capacity of battery, and structural design. The Fluke battery software, it is free, and you can check the trend of your battery. Okay? And according to the IEEE standard in 1188, here's the recommended practice for the maintenance on the battery. Okay, so in terms of voltage and current, most of the time, it check could be quarterly or yearly. Okay, and the next is temperature, yearly, ohmic, and including the ripple. So this standard is actually your guide on how to maintain the battery. But this battery I'm referring is actually on the facilities, no? On the what you call this? On the industrial applications. But the Fluke is eyeing for the battery maintenance or test instrument for the e-vehicle. Because nowadays, the e-vehicle is on the high demand. But of course, we need to check those parameters like the charging station and of course the battery performance. So I don't know, but of course in the future, I think there's somebody that could regulate those battery charging stations because we need to comply those standards in checking for the batteries. Okay. So again, we are the Presidium.PH Corporation, and we are the distributor of the Fluke test instrument. So if you are willing to know more about our products, we can do some discussion on you. So this is only to give you an highlights on our battery analyzers. Okay, so thank you so much.